John Smoltz, Major League Baseball Network analyst, who joins us, trying to provide an encore performance after Al Leiter was in the Man Cave on Friday, and Al Leiter slayed when he was with us. John, I had Leiter texting Bruce Springsteen when he was in.
He was texting Bruce Springsteen while he was doing an interview with you?
Well, he was reaching out to Bruce to see if Bruce would explain the lyric, he could throw that speedball by you. And so I'm just saying, you got a little bit of work to do here if you're going to try to rival Al Leiter.
Yeah, I'm not that connected. I really am not.
Most famous person in your phone is who?
You've asked me this before. It was Tiger.
Oh, you're not. He's no longer.
Well, it's still on my phone, but it doesn't work.
Okay, so he's changed his number.
Yeah.
Well, it was a deep friendship while it lasted. So who else do you have?
Well, I mean.
Wait, but you didn't do anything wrong, John. I could see where Tiger got rid of some of his other friends who may not have been good for him, but you're a very good guy, clean living. All you want to do is play golf and laugh.
That's right. No, it'll rekindle it.
Okay, all right. Now, so who? Now the Tiger's out of your Rolodex.
I don't know. I'm pretty boring. I mean, baseball players, athletes like that. I guess. But
musicians? Do you have a president in there?
No. Although I did have dinner twice with the president.
Which president?
George Bush.
How'd it go?
Great.
Now, was this senior?
No.
No, so 43.
Yeah. We had when he has that annual, off season, one player from each league and then a general manager.
And where'd you go?
Right there in the White House. Got the private tour. Got everything you could possibly want behind the scenes, and I narrowly escaped. I was going down the stairs, and the carpets were dark, and his little dog was on the stairs, and it was dark, and I, with an athletic last-minute move, was able to avoid stepping on the dog. That would have been ugly press for me.
That could have been an international incident.
That would have been bad, but I luckily was able to do that. And then I had the privilege of being a third base coach on the last annual Little League game on the lawn there at the White House. That was pretty cool.
Did you take anything from the White House?
No, not that I would ever say here on the interview. No, I didn't take anything.
Like a towel, like a monogrammed towel or soap or mints?
Nope. I just took memories, Dan.
That sucks. I would want to have a keepsake there.
It wasn't the easiest of times to get into the White House.
Apparently it's easy now.
Maybe, but it wasn't then.
All right, let's look at the games. Let me start with the losing teams. Bigger disappointment this year, the Angels or the Tigers?
Wow. I'd have to go with the Tigers. The Angels, of course, you would think because they had the best record, that their pitching staff had really taken a hit. They did the best they could and certainly pieced it together. But I think when the expectations for the Tigers with those three guys going against a great Baltimore Orioles team, they were in position to do exactly what Baltimore did, but they couldn't close out games. In the eighth inning, the bullpen ended up undoing the Tigers, which was a theme that they were worried about all year. And the psychology of a 5-game series is so quickly turned. I mean, it is amazing how a best-of-5 series can turn on a dime. Best-of-7 doesn't work that way. You're not as pressed up against the gun, if you will, when you're down 0-2. But I would say the Tigers and all that they had done to get to that point to try to secure and fix some of their needs in the offseason, it just didn't pan out, and that would probably be the most disappointing.
What if the Nationals bow out?
They fall in the same category in the sense that the best team in the National League and maybe in all of baseball, with the best pitching staff, a scrappy 2-game series so far that just an unflappable Giants team seemed to find ways. My theory is this. Look, they're not more than likely they're not going to change the format of the playoffs. The 162-game format, easily see why the Nationals will win their division and probably win the most games because they have the deepest staff. But you have too many off days in the postseason. And because you have too many off days, you don't need 4 or 5 starters. So The Nationals are the only team that I think could come back from an 0-2 deficit in this current format based on their pitching, much like the Giants were able to do when they came back in that miracle year when they won 3 in a row against Cincinnati, 3 in a row against St. Louis, and then swept the Tigers.
You had the Dodgers, salvaging the second game there, but the Cardinals are one of those teams that they know that it's never over. I don't know what it is. You can change managers, you can change the talent there, but there seems to be this innate ability to not, overreact to something. You're up. It's one of the most amazing games I've ever seen, John, is I'm watching Kershaw, and he's dealing. And all of a sudden, I figure it's done. I tune away, and all of a sudden, Fritzy texts me to say, unbelievable. Can you believe what the Cardinals did to Kershaw? I turn back in. I go, are you kidding me? That doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. I don't know in the history of my lifetime I'll ever see a weekend of sports like we saw, from baseball to college sports. It was unbelievable. Nothing's a sure thing, and just when you think it is, you're going to be surprised. Personally, I thought I had enough of 18-inning games as a player, and then to be able to watch and broadcast an 18-inning game, just incredible game, and 2 outs, nobody on, not even a hint of a walk in the game, 2 starters dealing. And next thing you know, it's a tie game with a possible chance that they could have won it with that play at the plate. Yeah. It really begs to your point in the sense where if you can slow the game down and you're not bothered and you don't get too anxious. We saw in Texas a couple years ago, 2 strikes away twice. Your mind starts thinking about, we're going to win. This is over. It doesn't happen to everybody, but when the game goes too fast and the moment is like, we got this, even the greatest in the game can find themselves fighting back and losing control of something they would have control 100% of the time.
He's John Smoltz, Major League Baseball Network analyst. You can join John, Matt Vasgersian, and Sam Ryan calling tonight's Game 3 between the Nationals and the Giants exclusively on the Major League Baseball Network. It starts at 5 Eastern. Is that right?
It does.
You got Madison Bumgarner, and we saw what he did against the Pirates. Well, okay, what do you expect tonight? Who wins this game?
Well, I was really pretty good in my predictions up to the regular season. When that ended, come postseason, I am an over. I would think that the conventional wisdom is Bumgarner on the mound tonight with the Giants and how good he's been in the postseason. You got a rematch of the World Series a couple years ago, of course, with Pfister at the Tigers and Bumgarner with the Giants. It's going to be hard unless Bumgarner cannot somehow command the strike zone. If he commands the strike zone, it's very difficult for the Nationals. The Nationals have been tested. They've been through this before in various ways. They've had media attention to their superstars, to injuries, and I'm just telling you, if there's a team that can win 3 games, if somehow they can steal this game tonight and force a 4-5, their pitching matchup on paper, and again, that means nothing, but on paper it gives them an advantage. I think Bumgarner is going to be very tough. I think it's going to follow the same theme with the first 2 games in a close games, which means it probably is going to go 14-13 tonight.
Plus, he gets that breaking ball over, then it's all over.
Yeah, he just is the toughest pitcher when it comes to fastballs up in the zone. Hitters tell themselves when they're going to come into the game today, they're going to go, keep the ball down, don't swing up. It's harder to do when you get in against Bumgarner. Big country guy that shows his number and slings it up there about 90, 91 miles an hour. But to your point, if he gets the curveball, anywhere close to the plate like he did against the Pirates, it's a tough matchup for the Nats.
How tough is it to face a Royals team where you don't lock in on one guy and say, we got to stop him, or we're worried about that pitcher? It's sort of nondescript great baseball.
Yeah, they have this reckless abandon that, first thing you do is you say, okay, can't let these guys get on base. But there's so many of them. We've not seen a team really with so many base stealers that can cause havoc. And what they do, even if they don't steal a ton of bases, they make the pitches to the next batter a little more hittable because you're worried about it. So I think when you're facing Kansas City, it's the ultimate wild card where they, not that they're playing like they've got nothing to lose, but they're on such bonus time now after 30 years of no playoff baseball. They've got this engine going pretty good. If they can get 6 innings out of starters, and they're awfully tough. So, this is maybe not what people thought. The Kansas City Royals taking on the Baltimore Orioles to go to the chance to go to the World Series, but I think it's going to be a pretty classic series in the sense that, to your point, you never can fall asleep with the Kansas City Royals. You never know even Brett Butler, the Butler did it. Even he stole a base last night.
I know. Before I let you go, I have your Michigan State Spartans in the Final Four at the end of the year.
Well, I hope so. Matter of fact, that game that was played from the 9th inning to the 18th inning, a college football game was finished before we finished our game. And I was just, every upset that was coming in, I just kept thinking, well, here's our chance, because they need a few upsets based on the way the Big Ten goes. So I hope you're right.
They're good.
That would be a pretty cool thing, and I don't know that, in my lifetime I've been able to say that that could have happened. So I'm pretty happy at this point. I still need a couple more upsets.
Have fun tonight. Good to visit with you as always, Johnny. And see if you could kind of spruce up that Rolodex next time I talk to you, all right?
You got it.
All right, bud. That's John Smoltz, Major League Baseball Network.